Hello, today I'm going to be talking about lingerie, walking through research conducted and the drafting and sample construction process for this project. In the conducting of research for the lingerie package, store visits were conducted to examine lingerie at a range of price points on the market today. Stores visited include La Vie en Rose, Victoria's Secret, Urban Outfitters, NYX, Holt Renfrew, which carries Skims and Kiki de Montparnasse, and Diva Lingerie, which carries Empreinte and Marie Jo. While gathering research, effort was made to examine lingerie from not only a wide range of price points, but also with a range of functions and styles. Special attention was paid to seamed cut bras to inform the construction of the bra sample, as well as underwear more generally. After examining a wide range of bras and underwear, research was compiled into the following categories: stitch types, bra fabrics, bra cups, bra trims and notions, bra edge finishing, panty fabrics, panty styles, panty gusset construction, panty trims and notions, and panty edge finishing. Bra and panty research stitch types. The most commonly used stitch type in lingerie is the zigzag stitch, which allows fabric and elastic to stretch without snapping the thread. Overlock stitches are used to assemble most stretch seams on bras and underwear, specifically at the low and mid-level price ranges. Cover stitching is sometimes used for hems, as it has good stretch and creates a durable, flat hem. Straight stitching is used in bras for non-stretch areas such as the cradle and bridge. Seam bonding is common in seamless panties and bras to eliminate bulky seams. For bras, stitch choice must consider stretch, structure, and durability. For undies, stretch is very important for comfort and mobility, and stitch choice must consider this. When comparing price points, cheaper bras often show poor tension and untidy stitching, while more expensive bras will feature cleaner finishing and even tidy stitching. In cheap panties, poor stitch tension and low-quality thread sometimes causes popped seams. More expensive panties show cleaner internal finishes and reinforced stress points. Bra research, fabric. Fabric used for bras directly affects comfort, breathability, support, and lifespan. Power mesh or other stretchy knits are often used in the back wings and sometimes other areas for reinforcement and recovery, while lace and mesh are used for cups and overlays for both function and aesthetics. Satin and microfiber are commonly used for smooth finishes and different aesthetics. In cheaper bras, single knits with poor recovery are common, which leads to stretching out quickly. Moderately priced bras show intentional mixing of stretch and non-stretch materials, while expensive bras use more luxurious materials such as silk. Bra research, cups. Bra cups control the overall breast shape, projection, and level of support. Common cup shapes include molded, balconette, plunge, bullet, bandeau, and triangle. Seam placement impacts the shape and fit. Vertical seams lift and project the bust forward, horizontal seams create roundness, and three-piece cups provide a good balance of lift, containment, and shaping. Seamed cups are especially important when working with lace or mesh, where structure must come from pattern engineering rather than foam. Molded cups are popular in mass production because they hide seams and speed up manufacturing, but they often reduce fit accuracy. Cheap bras usually rely on single molded cups that collapse over time. Moderate bras use 2 or 3-piece cups, and expensive bras use multi-panel, precisely engineered cup construction. Cup design varies based on the intended use of the bra. Some bras are designed for function and support, and some are more focused on aesthetics. Bra research, trims and notions. Trims and notions are crucial to both function and durability in bras. Typical bra trims and notions include underwires, rings and sliders, hook and eye closures, decorative lace, and different types of elastics like plush and picot. In cheaper bras, plastic hardware and thin or less ergonomically designed underwires are common. The elastic used in cheaper bras also tends to lose recovery quickly. Moderately priced bras improve through the use of mixed metal hardware, better encased underwires, and stronger elastics. In expensive bras, trims are often custom designed with metal hardware, covered wire channels, and premium elastics that maintain recovery over long-term wear. Bra research, edge finishing. Edge finishing directly affects the comfort of the bra against the skin, durability, and overall garment stability. Common edge finishes include picot elastic, fold-over elastic, binding, and lace edging. In less expensive bras, it is common to see glued trims, raw edges, and poorly secured elastics, all of which can cause irritation to the skin. Moderately priced bras improve with cleaner finishes and better elastic recovery. In expensive bras, we see concealed stitching and hand-finished lace edges, which have an elevated, refined appearance. Panty research, fabric. Panty fabric choice is closely tied to comfort, hygiene, and longevity. Cotton is used for breathability and everyday comfort, while modal is used for its softness and moisture wicking. Microfiber can provide a smooth, lightweight feel, and lace and mesh are used to add visual interest and ventilation. Cheap undies often use synthetic blends with poor stretch recovery, which causes them to stretch out and lose shape quickly. Moderately priced panties often use cotton blends that balance comfort and stability or other higher quality natural or synthetic blends. Expensive panties may use modal, silk blends, or antimicrobial fabrics to enhance hygiene, durability, and comfort. Panty research, styles. There are a wide range of panty types that vary in coverage, comfort, and intended function. Common underwear styles include briefs, bikinis, thongs, G-strings, boy shorts, high-waisted, and cheeky cuts. The style and materials change how the gusset is shaped, how elastic is applied, and how the garment distributes tension on the body. For example, thongs require narrower gussets and lighter elastics, while briefs need wider gussets and stronger elastic support. Edge finishes and elastic width are always adapted to the specific style to balance comfort and security. Panty research, gusset construction. The gusset is one of the most important structural components of panties because it affects hygiene, moisture control, comfort, and durability. The shape and construction of the gusset varies based on the style of underwear. Cotton is the industry standard fabric for gussets as breathability is important. Modal and antimicrobial finishes also are used sometimes, usually in higher-end underwear. Cheap panties sometimes use synthetic or single-layer gussets that shrink and roll. Moderately priced panties use cotton gussets with better coverage and stitching. Expensive panties feature multi-layer gussets with precise shaping, moisture management, and sometimes antimicrobial treatments. Panty research, trims and notions. Panty trims and notions include elastics, decorative lace, bows, and appliques. These elements can add both function and aesthetics. Cheap panties rely on low recovery elastics and glued-on trims, which often fail after washing. Moderately priced panties improve with better quality elastics and more secure attachment methods. Expensive panties use custom trims, microelastics, and concealed hardware to create a refined finish while maintaining comfort and durability. Panty research, edge finishing. Edge finishing in panties is essential for comfort, durability, and appearance. Different edge finishes are used depending on the style and intended use of the panties. Some of the most common finishes are picot elastic, fold-over elastic, and lace edging. Bonded edges are used in seamless panties to eliminate visible lines under clothing. In cheap panties, raw edges and unstable elastics often cause irritation and wear out faster. Moderately priced panties improve elastic application and finish quality. In expensive panties, bonded seams, microelastics, and invisible finishes provide the highest level of comfort and longevity. Research conclusion. The research process for lingerie was very valuable for understanding construction methods, material usage, and to get inspiration for the wide range of aesthetic possibilities within lingerie. Lingerie examined from fast fashion lingerie brands like Le Vion Rose and Victoria's Secret was generally suitable for everyday wear and utilized more standard basic finishing techniques. At Urban Outfitters, the lingerie from their Out From Under line was more aesthetically focused rather than practical, featuring similar basic finishing techniques but unique trims and notions that would be less suitable for everyday wear underneath clothing. On the opposite end of things, NYX, which has a more mid-range price point, seemed much more focused on comfort and practicality. Their lingerie featured little to no embellishment or decoration, and most of their branding and advertising was about the technical features of the bras and underwear. Skims also fell within the mid-range price point and had a range of more practical everyday lingerie and more decorative pieces. The finishing of the Skims lingerie was very similar in quality and technique to the less expensive fast fashion brands researched. The high-end lingerie from Kiki de Montparnasse, which fell in the $300 to $500 range, was less practical or wearable, focused on luxurious materials and a delicate aesthetic. Other brands examined in the high-end range include Empreinte and Marie Jo, whose lingerie combined highly decorative pieces with wearability and interesting high-quality finishing techniques. Half bustier front and back. Here we have the bustier sample, which is half of a typical dress bustier. Half bustier inside and details. Here we can see the inside of the bustier with the boning, seamed padded cup, and the understitching on the lining side of the bustier. Blocks, swim block front and back. This is the basic swim block front and back view. The swim block does not have a second dart, which had to be added in order to draft the bra block in the next slide. Blocks, bra block. This is the basic bra block, which I will later talk about using to draft the pattern for my bra sample. The bra cut pieces are highlighted in different colors to make them more clear. Bottom samples, panty number 1. For my first bottom style, I chose to draft and sew a cheeky style panty made of stretch lace and fully lined with power mesh. The edges are finished with a decorative elastic and the undies have a cotton gusset. I knocked off a similar style and made some adjustments to the pattern to create a slightly higher cut leg. Details. Here you can see the inside views of the panties and a close-up view of the gusset. I had some trouble using the zigzag machines at the school. I believe it was either trouble with the tension or with the pressure of the presser foot on the very lightweight fabric. The waistband elastic was sewn using the school's machines and is very wavy, though it lies flat when it's worn. And the leg hole elastic was sewn in using the zigzag stitch on my home machine, which provided a much cleaner, nicer finish. Panty number 1 pattern walk off. This video shows the pattern walk off for the first pair of underwear, showing that all of the seams line up, including the gusset, which fits onto the front piece, the side seams, and the crotch seam. Bottom samples, panty number 2. For my second bottom style, I chose to draft and sew a G-string thong, which features a paneled front with stretch lace and power mesh, and a stretch lace back. Edge finishing and the G-string portion of the panty were done with fold-over elastic. The panties have a cotton gusset, and for the drafting of this pair, I started with the cheeky style I drafted for the first pair of undies I made, and I changed the pattern to turn it into a G-string. Details. These photos showed the inside views of the second panty style. The G-string thong was very satisfying to sew with the fold-over elastic. It came together quickly, and I'm overall happy with the end result. The zigzag stitching holding down the stretch lace layer could have been sewn following the edge of the lace, and would have looked nicer from the inside, though it is hard to see the zigzag stitches from the outside as it blends with the lace. The elastic could have also been held slightly more taut sewing the front panel, or the elastic should have been a little bit lighter weight, as the fabric is quite light and it's causing a little bit of rippling at the front. So the panty style number 2 pattern walk-off. This video shows the pattern walk-off for the second pair of underwear, showing that all of the seams line up, including the gusset fitting in with that front piece there, and the side seams of the panties. Bra sample process cup creation. I began drafting the bra sample pattern by sewing up a test of the bra cup from the bra block and making adjustments from there to get my desired fit. I likely would not use this method again in the future. The bra block was for quite a bit of a larger chest than my own, and I had to sew quite a few sample cups before I was able to get the fit and cup shape that I wanted. These photos show some of the progression of cup shape samples made before getting to prototype 3, which I used to draft my final bra pattern. Bra sample process sewing. After drafting the bra and creating prototypes of the cups, I sewed the final sample of the bra. I used non-stretch lace for the cups and cradle of the bra, lined with non-stretch mesh and an inner lining of power mesh for a more comfortable, softer layer against the skin. The wings of the bra were sewn with 2 layers of power mesh to maintain some stretch in the bra, so the cups and cradle do not have to stretch, but the wings do. Pico elastic was used to finish the edges of the bra, aiding with fit but also providing a decorative element. I chose not to include padding or an underwire in the bra, as I personally am not a fan of bras with these elements, but I did utilize underwire casing to finish the inside of the bra at the cup seams, side seams, and where the seam allowance is folded over at the center front of the cradle. As I lowered the cup quite significantly for my pattern, the center front of the cradle is a little bit wide. This is not a style in bras that is very popular today. Most bras feature the cups somewhat closer together to create more of a push-up effect. The cups of my bra sample being more spread apart, while not super typical and something that I would maybe change about the pattern, does personally work a little bit better for my personal anatomy than many typical bras on the market today. Bra sample process sewing. After inserting the underwire casing with a straight stitch, I inserted the hook and eye closure at the center back using a zigzag stitch. I had originally been planning on using some other fabrics for the sample, and I purchased a black hook and eye closure. I do wish that the closure was white instead of black on this sample, but it does serve the intended purpose. I then created the adjustable straps using a slider and ring and sewed them onto the bra. I finished the bra adding little bows at the tops of the cups and at the center front for a decorative detail. Bra sample, final sample. This bra is absolutely a first sample of this pattern, and there are fit revisions and changes that I would make if I were wanting to create a polished, finished product. Overall, though, I am quite pleased with the fit of the bra, specifically in the cups. The cups lie flat to the body and have a fairly smooth, nice shape to them. Some changes that I would make to the pattern include adding more shape to the cradle and bringing the cups in towards the center front very slightly, as it does feel like there is a fairly large expansive cradle showing at the front of the bra. I also misjudged the seam allowance for the wing to have the wing line up with the hook and eye closure of the bra. So I would take a little bit off of the wing to allow for a more smooth connection between the hook and eye and the wing of the bra. Here on this slide, we can see views of the front, the back, and the side of the finished bra sample. There are also some aspects of the sewing that I would do differently next time I sew a bra. The picot elastic used was a little bit too wide for this bra, and I think that a slightly narrower elastic would have had a more polished look on the inside of the bra. I was also having some difficulty with the zigzag machine while sewing this bra sample, and the zigzag stitching looks quite messy in some areas, specifically along the elastic and at the hook and eye closures. I utilized underwire casing to finish the side seams, and I think that it would have looked more professional and would have provided a slightly better fit at the side seam if instead of using the underwire casing, I sandwiched the cradle between the two layers of the power mesh for the wings and had the seams fully finished on both sides. The casing adds some bulk to the seam, which is visible when wearing the bra. In general, though, I'm quite happy with this bra as a first sample of this pattern. I drafted, and as my first attempt sewing this type of garment, I found the process of making it fun, and it made me excited to play around with sewing more lingerie. Bra sample pattern walk-off. This video shows the pattern walk-off of the bra pattern with the seams lined up where the cradle meets the wing, as well as with the cup pieces. Conclusion. In conclusion, this project was a fun delve into an area of sewing that I had not previously explored at all, but that I'm excited to explore more in the future. I think that specifically the process of drafting and creating the bra increased my understanding of pattern manipulation for fit in a large way, and I feel much more confident in my abilities moving forward to manipulate top patterns for articulation. The research component of this project, similarly to the knits finishing project, was incredibly valuable in gaining a huge amount of understanding of construction and finishing methods utilized in lingerie, and made the process of designing, drafting, and sewing the samples much easier. I think that moving forward, I will not be looking at lingerie the same way that I did before, and it's fun to know now that I'm capable of making these garments, which may have previously felt a little bit daunting. And thank you so much for your time and for the great semester.